Okay. Hi, my name is Macy Beaker, and this is my client. And what's your name?
Dallas.
All right. So today we're going to do a 24-hour recall. So I'm going to have you do this recall on yesterday.
Okay.
So that day would have been Sunday, and I'm just going to have you just give me a quick list of the meals you ate. I know you normally eat 3 meals a day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Not any snacks. So if you could just kind of go through quickly what you ate. Nothing too specific.
For breakfast, I had the muffins I always eat, some juice, tea, and then lunch, I think I had some leftovers. And then for dinner, we made lasagna.
Okay. And so I'm going to have you go into depth a little bit about just the timing and where you ate the food and just what exactly you ate. So for breakfast, what time do you normally eat breakfast?
I would say it's always between 7:30 and 8:30.
Okay. And is that right when you wake up?
No, it's after I've exercised and walked the dogs. So I've been up for probably 2 hours, hour and a half.
Okay. And where do you normally eat that?
At the table.
And that's at home?
Mhm.
All right. And so you said you eat muffins. What type of muffins would those
They are
be?
a brand muffin that I make.
And how many of those do you eat?
2.
2. And are those in a typical muffin pan or a super size?
Yes, like standard.
Standard. The 24. All right. And do you have any beverages with that meal?
I usually have water I've been drinking, lots of tea in the morning, and a tiny bit of orange juice.
All right. And so I did bring one of your teacups, and this would be about 16 ounces. I know you drink a lot of tea.
I probably have 3 of those before lunch.
Before lunch. Okay. Very nice. All right. And where do you normally drink your tea? Just around the house?
Just at home. If I go to work, it's a little harder, but I'm not there very many days.
Okay. And what type of tea do you drink?
I alternate all day between black and green.
And do you add anything to that?
No.
Okay. So about 3 16-ounce glasses.
And then some at night.
Okay, I'll get to that later. Okay, so for breakfast you just drink you eat the 2 muffins, then you drink tea with that, and some water as well. So here's just your basic, I'd say this is about 10 ounces. How many of these do you drink before breakfast and during breakfast?
Of water? 1.
Just one of these? All right, and how far do you fill it?
I mean,
About 90%, 80%?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 1. Okay, so in between breakfast and lunch, do you eat anything?
excuse me. No.
Do you still drink tea?
Yes.
Okay, great. So about what time do you drink or you eat lunch?
Around noon.
All right. And what did you have for lunch?
Yesterday I just had leftovers, asparagus and risotto.
Okay.
And I think I also had an apple.
You had an apple. And what size was that apple? So a typical apple is usually about this big.
It was bigger than that.
Bigger than that? So maybe like 1 1/4
Yes.
size of that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And so for lunch you said you had asparagus risotto. So how big was that portion of the rice component of the risotto? Would you say like about a fist size?
Yeah.
Or a little bit more?
Probably.
1 1/2 fists?
Yeah.
Which one?
1 fist.
Okay.
And then the asparagus part was probably like a half cup.
Okay. And so a serving size for vegetables is a woman's fist.
Mhm.
So maybe would you say like half of a fist size for the asparagus component?
I think a whole fist if you included like their celery and onions.
Okay. Right. And did you have anything else with your lunch besides the apple and the risotto?
No.
All right. And for dinner, what did you have?
Well, while I had the lasagna in the oven, I made myself a humongous green salad with all the vegetables I cut up that no one else wanted yet.
All right. And so you said you were cooking that at home.
Mhm.
Did you eat that at home as well? It's all homemade?
Yes.
All right. And so for that lasagna, so I have a 1 cup measure right here. I know it's kind of hard to think of that slice in a 1 cup measurement, but how much would you say? Like 1
I'd
cup,
say
1.5
1 and a
cups?
half.
1.5 cups?
It's not,
And did you eat that whole portion?
yes.
All right. And was that just a meat lasagna?
Yeah, like your standard meat and
Were there any vegetables in it?
cheese. No, just the sauce.
All right. And what were some other components on that salad? What was the base? Was it lettuce or was it
Spinach.
Spinach. All right.
And I had tomatoes and green peppers.
All right. And did you put any dressing on that?
Yes, a little like a onion, sweet onion vinaigrette, or
And do you remember the brand of that dressing?
it was whatever Dillon's their label is. But it was a refrigerated one, so it doesn't have. It's not salty.
And did you follow that serving size on that? Would you say you used about a tablespoon or a teaspoon?
Probably 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. Okay. All right. And then for the spinach, did you have just a regular sized bowl
It was
or a?
like a serving
I know
size
you
bowl.
like-
So
okay.
at least 2 cups of spinach, and then when you put the vegetables in, it's just big to stir. So
All right. So once again, the serving for vegetables is a female fist.
Mhm.
So maybe half a fist of tomatoes, or how much would you say?
well, half a tomatoes, maybe half a green peppers. What else did I have in there? Oh, cucumbers.
Mm-hmm. And how many cucumbers would you
Probably
say?
half a fist.
Right. Getting your vegetables in.
Yeah.
All right. And did you have anything else with your dinner?
We had peas.
Peas.
On the side.
What type of peas were they? Frozen, fresh,
Canned.
Okay. And once again, back to that fist.
Yeah.
How many would we have?
Probably half a fist.
All right. That's just an easy serving size, especially because we are women. All right. And what time did you have dinner?
It was 6 to 6:30, probably.
All right. And did you have any beverages with dinner
More water.
or water? How many would you say of these?
Just one.
This one. Okay. And did you have any more tea?
Yes. In the evening, some decaf green.
All right. And how many glasses of that?
I would say like a 12-ounce serving.
You have some different cups. All right. So you did have a lot of the homemade food, which is great. So I don't have to ask you too much about the brands. So I'm just gonna do a run through just to make sure I had all of it. A lot of times people forget, snacks or desserts
Oh, I
or
did.
beverages.
I can think of now.
Okay,
what I
so
forgot.
don't worry about that. We'll get through that. Yeah, and you did pretty well with your sizes. Okay, so I'm just going to read back this list, and if I miss anything, I'll just ask you about that. So you started your breakfast at 7:30 after your exercise, and you had the 2 bran muffins that were the standard muffin size, and you had water, just 1 glass of water, and then you said 3 glasses of tea in that time span area. Okay, and with that, was that all
A
there?
little bit of juice.
Little bit of juice. What type of juice?
Orange juice with calcium. Sorry, excuse my dog.
And how much juice would you say? So
I
if
mean,
we're going off of this glass, would you
Like
say
maybe
like a
half a
4
cup, maybe at the most.
glass? Okay. All right. And then between your 7:30 breakfast and your noon lunch, there was nothing in between there? Okay, very good. And then for your lunch, I think you did miss your dessert.
I did.
Okay, so you had your apple,
Mhm.
and you had your asparagus risotto,
Mhm.
which the rice was the, 1 serving of that, and then another serving of the vegetables in that, just to separate that out. What did you have for your dessert?
I love Lindt 70% chocolate. So I had 3 squares of that with my hot tea afterward.
That sounds very good. All right. In between your noon lunch and your 6 dinner, while you were cooking, did you eat anything? Any snacks?
I did. I had some peanut butter crackers because
Okay.
I was so hungry from that lunch and nobody was ready to eat.
Okay, and what brand are those?
Just the Target store brand.
Alright. Okay, and then, so you had those peanut butter crackers, and then moving on to dinner, which you did cook. So the lasagna, you said you had 1.5 cups of that, and then all sorts of vegetables, the spinach, green peppers, tomatoes, dressing, and cucumbers. That was before dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then with dinner, you had the peas that were canned, and another glass of water, and then the decaf green. Did you have any more water? Because right now I have you written down 2 glasses of water. I know you. Do you just drink usually just tea?
That evening, I would have had more water before bed.
Okay. And did you have anything else to eat before you went to bed and after dinner?
Nope.
All right, great. So that list sounds pretty good to you?
Mhm.
All right. And would this be considered a normal day for you?
Yeah, I think so.
What changes would you sometimes make to that day? Would you have a bigger lunch? Would you?
No, sometimes I would have a big decadent dessert afterward, but I did not.
Okay. It's understandable.
Because I'm used to being on vacation